too smart to live. The information that you give is just a lot of blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I think you go too far.
Now listen, Arthur, you're so wise. You're like a lot of other guys. You're getting on my nerves, and so I'll find out just how much you know.
All right.
Now listen, Arthur.
Well, what is it, Freddie?
You know, I have some questions I must put to you. Tell me all the things you know about the radio. I understand you know a thing or two.
Well, now I'll tell you.
Well, go on and tell me.
I think I've got the proper explanation. It's the etheric office of the Staticamus Cuffus.
Oh, thank you, Arthur, for your information.
You're welcome. Now listen, Freddie.
What is it, Arthur?
To fool the traffic cops never pays. Tell me just what would you do if the judge say to you, take your choice, $50 or 10 days?
Why, I've got the answer.
Oh, you've got the answer.
Certainly. Your ignorance would be my ruination. Why, you're as stupid as a mule. Take the $50, you fool.
Thank you for your rotten information.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Now listen, Arthur.
Well, what is it, Freddie?
See, what is this game of bridge they rave about? Gee, it's got me up a tree, but it sounds real good to me because I heard last night you took your partner out.
Oh, don't be silly.
Well, I'm not silly.
You know, it's the very latest form of recreation. If you trump your partner's age, you get socked right in the face.
Oh, thank you for your tricky information.
You're welcome. Listen, Freddie.
What is it, Arthur?
You know, I'm ashamed. I haven't got my next month's rent. Can I borrow 10 from you, or 5 even do? But to tell the truth, I haven't got a cent.
Well, I must refuse you.
Oh, please don't refuse me.
You know, lending dough to you would be a speculation.
Oh, yeah?
And besides, I'm busted, too. I just thought of asking you.
Oh, thank you for your stingy information.
Don't mention it. Now listen, Arthur.
Well, what is it, Freddie?
I hope by now that you're satisfied. You know, if they want to hear part 2, there's only one thing they can do. They'll have to turn us on the other side.
Let's not annoy them.
Oh, we will annoy them.
Well, I hope they're listening with anticipation. And I hope they won't frown when they turn us upside down.
Oh, thank you, Arthur, for that information.
You're welcome. Freddie, do you want to quit, or do you still think that you're it? I think I know too much for you, and if you're wise, you'll say you're through.
I won't give up, not on a bet. I haven't even started yet. I'm satisfied to carry on and argue with you pro and con.
All right. Now listen, Freddie.
What is it, Arthur?
Tell me, just how does the missus feel? Tell me, does she still complain every time she gets a pain, or can she pack in a great big hearty meal?
Oh, quit your kidding.
Why, I'm not kidding.
You know, her poor throat is all stopped up with inflammation.
No.
She can't even speak a word.
That's the best news that I've heard. Thank you for that welcome information.
You're very welcome. Now listen, Arthur.
Well, what is it, Freddie?
You know that I've been a friend of yours all through life. But my heart is full of fears as I tell you this with tears. I heard every man in Yonkers kissed your wife.
Oh, don't get funny.
Why, I'm not funny.
Well, that doesn't bother my imagination. And you know that's not such an awful big... Yonkers ain't so big.
Thank you, Arthur, for that information.
You're welcome. Now listen, Freddie.
What is it, Arthur?
You know, I have a joke on you, don't you mind. You know, I saw a funny sight as I passed your house last night. When you kiss your wife, why don't you pull down the blind?
Why, I'm not worried.
Well, you should be worried.
You know, that doesn't cause me any aggravation. Because the joke's on you, all right. I wasn't home last night.
Oh, thank you, Freddie, for that information.
You're welcome. Now listen, Arthur.
Well, what is it, Freddie?
You know, my wife and I, we had an awful fight. And I don't think it's very fair when she says go take the air in an aeroplane and take a 10-year flight.
Oh, she's got you busy.
You bet I'm busy.
And that doesn't need a lot of explanation, you know. Just take that for all it's worth. She has no use for you on Earth.
Oh, thank you, Arthur, for that information.
You're welcome. Now listen, Freddie.
What is it, Arthur?
Say, it takes a million years to reach a star. Science tells us that is so. Will you tell me what you know? Does it really take so long to go that far?
Why, I've traveled faster.
Oh, you've traveled faster.
All it needs is just a little concentration. Why, last night I touched a star. I had Garbo in my car.
Oh, thank you for the brilliant information.
You're welcome.